Have you noticed that in the NBA? That the tables have turned? Let me explain.
Tatum now drives, and Tatum, an exclamation point!
The NBA has always been a league driven by superstars. That's a fact. You need a player capable of making the difference in the most important moments if you want to advance to the last stages of the playoffs. But in this day and age, having the best superstar doesn't always mean you're going to win. Have you ever noticed the importance of the supporting cast? It's crazy, but nowadays, that's really what makes the difference. All the contenders have their top 10 superstars on their team, but it seems that the last few seasons are proving that the team that gets to win the Larry O'Brien is the one that has the best supporting cast. Something we have seen with the Boston Celtics this year, with the Nuggets last year, and with teams that have gone far in the playoffs thanks to the incredible performance of their role players like the Timberwolves this season or the Heat last season. Yeah, don't tell me you don't remember Caleb Martin and Gabe Vincent torching the Celtics exactly a year ago. With the arrival of free agency, all GMs are eager to fight for those players that low-key considerably increase the chances of success. That's why I have compiled this list of under-the-radar players. Players who will have the opportunity to change teams during the month of July and become important pieces in other franchises that are one step away from achieving the championship.
Here's Hart underneath for Hartenstein, who slams it down.
So who are the names that every contender would like to have? Well, let's talk about this. Everyone knows that centers are highly sought after in the NBA. Having a big man to anchor the defense on one side of the court and be able to contribute on the other is something that is usually worth many millions of dollars every summer. Now, Isaiah Hartenstein has earned every penny of the contract he's going to collect. The Knicks center has proven his qualities by helping the team knock off the Philadelphia 76ers in the first round while guarding one of the best players on the planet. There are several reasons that make Hartenstein a very valuable player in the context of the modern NBA. His efficiency on offense being one of them. Isaiah has averaged 64% shooting from the field and 67% in true shooting this year, being the 17th most efficient player in the league, while averaging 7.8 points and 8.3 rebounds per game. In addition, the Oregon center has shown his court vision, being able to generate some offensive advantages for his teammates in what has been the best season in his career as an assistant. He is not a player who needs a lot of touches, as his one-on-one scoring ability is limited beyond a solid floater. But the truth is that Hartenstein has proven to be an above-average center for a team that aspires to win. The only problem is that in the NBA, to get centers in free agency, you usually have to overpay.
Irving maneuvers, uses the left hand, and Claxton!
The second player on the list is also a center who will probably get his first big contract this summer. Nick Claxton. Like Hartenstein, can affect both sides of the game, but in his case, he has more offensive potential, basically because of the combination of his 7'3" wingspan and athleticism. As he already proved with James Harden in Brooklyn, Claxton is an impressive lob threat. His speed makes him especially dangerous in the pick and roll, where he is capable of generating a lot of points. In addition, his speed increases his value as a rim protector, being able to get to defensive help with ease. Considering he's a young player and the Nets are in the midst of a rebuild, I wouldn't be surprised if he receives a good contract without having to move from Brooklyn. But nonetheless, there are going to be plenty of teams interested in the services of a center who can take over the starting role with no problem, and who is coming off averaging 12 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 blocks per game last season. His price range, like Hartenstein's, may be a bit higher than his real value, but his ability to contribute in virtually any context should not be questioned. The case of our next player, Miles Bridges, is a bit odd. The Hornets forward should have already received his big contract in the summer of 2022, when he averaged 20 points per game on a solid 59 true shooting percentage. But his off-court issues nearly left him out of the league. In fact, he was sidelined for a full year. Now, once he's back on the court, Bridges has shown that he has plenty of talent to make a career in the league.
Hornets get it back. Here comes LaMelo Ball with his hair on fire.
He clearly belongs to the NBA, and he's back to averaging 21 points with good efficiency, plus 7 rebounds and 3 assists per game. Sure, there may be teams reluctant to offer big money to such a controversial name, but absolutely no one should doubt his ability to make every penny of his contract worth it. After being kinda forced to accept the Hornets' offer, which has earned him a mere $8 million per year, expect that figure to increase by 2 or even 3 times if any GM really wants him on the roster, as he will be an unrestricted free agent next July. Some consider that he was robbed of the Sixth Man of the Year award, but what is certain is that no one is going to steal money from Malik Monk's contract this summer. Monk comes into the offseason as an unrestricted free agent after having the 2 best seasons of his career in Sacramento under Mike Brown. And after amassing just $27 million during his 6-year career, this contract will multiply his earnings. Monk is one of the best microwaves off the bench in the NBA. Able to score from all 3 levels, he is one of the best shoot creators you can find on a relatively low budget. Like all players of this profile, he can have some regularity and consistency issues, but Malik is certainly one of the most reliable among them. Moreover, during the only playoffs of his career, he showed his best level of play in the NBA. He just hasn't had another opportunity to show it again. The last player to complete the list of 5 players under the radar is a guard who has been looking for a couple of years for a place to shine.
To shoot. Jones. That's a 3.
Tyus Jones proved in Memphis that he was one of the best backup point guards in the league, if not the best, along with TJ McConnell. An efficient guard capable of making the right decision and a great team player. His problem is undoubtedly size, a factor that has probably cost him tens of millions of dollars during his career. But for once, he will be able to choose his destination and be considered as an important addition. His last season in Washington was his career year, averaging 12 points and 7.3 assists per night in less than 30 minutes. It was also his first season as a starter in the NBA. With plenty of guards available, Jones will likely end up taking a below-value contract in July. But his profile as an efficient, organizational point guard makes him stand out from the rest of his peers. Any contender in need of an elite backup point guard, or any team in need of a complementary starting guard, will explore options to sign Tyus Jones during the next few weeks. In addition to these 5 players, there are many others who could be interesting profiles for a contender. They are what we're going to call honorable mentions, and few players could have as big an impact on any team as Tobias Harris. Let's be clear, his fit on the Sixers didn't work out. After being one of the highest paid players in the league for 5 years, Harris never managed to prove that he deserved to get paid that kind of money. Now, he is by no means a bad player. For the right price and in the right role, Tobias could be one of the best signings of this free agency. Just don't send him with Doc Rivers. Please, Milwaukee, don't do it. Similar case to his teammate Buddy Hield. The sharpshooting guard has had an upsetting end of the season in Philadelphia.
Hield wide open on the wing, and Buddy's got another!
After Morey invested 3 second-round draft picks in him, but that doesn't take away from the fact that Hield is one of the best high-volume three-point shooters in the entire league. Quick trigger, quick release, and a tremendous ability to score contested shots on catch and shoot. His unrestricted market could attract the attention of several teams that could use him off the bench, or his other teammate, Kelly Oubre, who is also out of contract with the Sixers this summer. Kelly and his agent did not make the right decisions during last offseason, and the forward ended up getting paid a minimum in Philadelphia. A contract that differs greatly from his value as a player. But now that he is on the market as an unrestricted free agent, it is to be expected that there will be several teams knocking on his door. Athletic, much improved on defense with Nick Nurse, great wingspan, great driver. There are few reasons why Kelly Oubre shouldn't be starting in the NBA. The reality is that none of these names will likely end up getting headlines during free agency. In fact, most casual fans won't even know that these players have changed teams. However, come spring of next year, we shouldn't be surprised if any of these names have been able to be a vital contributor to a team during the playoffs, because, as we have said, the NBA has become a competition in which having the best supporting cast is what can lead you to glory. And the first to realize this trend is the GMs who try to surround their stars with the best system players they can find on the market. Now, let the battle begin.